The second quarter of 2025 has really brought the power of AI into sharp focus. It feels like we're past the point of just seeing cool new features. We're witnessing the giants of the tech world fundamentally rewiring their entire businesses around artificial intelligence.
It's more than just a rewiring, it's like they're installing a completely new operating system for how they innovate and make money. It's happening on the ground inside these massive companies, and it's affecting everything from how we search for information to how businesses operate and even what's possible in the physical world.
Let's kick things off with Google then. Their Q2 2025 results are out, and it's clear AI is their main growth engine. They reported a 14% revenue increase, hitting 96.4 billion. What's striking is their Google Cloud business, which saw a 32% growth, reaching 13.6 billion, directly benefiting from the AI boom. And despite all the competition, their core search business is surprisingly resilient, with ad revenue up 12%.
Absolutely, but the real headline here, beyond the numbers, is the sheer scale of their AI operations. Google announced they're now processing over 980 trillion tokens monthly. To put that in perspective, that's double what they reported just a couple of months ago. A token, for our listeners, is the basic unit of text or code and AI model processes. This isn't just a big number. It signifies a massive shift in how users are interacting with Google services, like AI overviews and AI mode, which are fundamentally changing the search experience. It suggests Google is not just adapting to AI, it's redefining the very act of searching.
You mentioned that shift in user interaction, this token tsunami, and the adoption of features like AI overviews, and even searching with your camera. What are the deeper implications of this for how we consume information online? Does this fundamentally alter the dynamic between users, content creators, and Google itself?
It completely changes the game. We're moving from a world of keywords to a world of conversations and context. Instead of typing "best coffee shops near me," you might just ask your phone a follow-up question in a running chat or circle a picture of a cafe you saw online. For users, it can feel more natural and intuitive. But for content creators, it's a huge challenge. Their entire model was built on getting you to click a blue link. Now, if Google's AI just summarizes the answer for you, the need to click through to a website diminishes. It centralizes Google's role as the primary source of answers, not just the directory.
I see. So it's both more convenient and potentially more controlling. But let's look at the other side of this. Google is forecasting an 85 billion capital expenditure for 2025, with two-thirds of that, a staggering amount, going directly into AI infrastructure. This is an enormous bet. Is this full-stack AI approach a necessary strategic move to maintain dominance, or does it carry significant risks?
It's a high stakes, but in their view, absolutely necessary move. They call it a full-stack AI approach for a reason. They're investing in everything from the foundational layer, their own custom chips like TPUs and massive data centers, all the way up to world-class research with models like Gemini, and finally, the end-user products like AI-powered search and video generation. The risk of not doing it is far greater. If you only own one piece of the puzzle, you're dependent on others. By owning the whole stack, they control their own destiny, optimize performance, and frankly make it incredibly difficult for anyone else to compete at their scale.
That makes sense. If we zoom out from Google's strategy and consider the broader tech landscape, what does Google's aggressive investment in owning the entire AI stack tell us about the future of competition in this space? Does it signal an inevitable consolidation where only a few giants can play?
It definitely signals a massive raising of the stakes. The cost of entry to compete at the foundational model level is becoming astronomical. It does suggest a consolidation of power among the handful of companies that can afford these multi-billion-dollar infrastructure bets. However, it might also create new opportunities in the layers above. Smaller, more specialized companies could thrive by building applications on top of these powerful platforms, leveraging Google's infrastructure without having to build it themselves. But the core power, the foundational layer, seems to be concentrating in very few hands.
Right? So Google is reshaping the very fabric of information. Now, moving from the broad web to the specialized world of enterprise, ServiceNow is making waves with what they call agentic AI. In Q2 2025, They reported 21.5% year-over-year growth in subscription revenue and are securing huge deals with their AI product. Now Assist seeing a massive jump in projects.
Yes, and the term agentic AI is really key here. This isn't just about simple automation like filling out a form. It signifies AI systems that can act autonomously and proactively to achieve goals within a business. Think of an AI agent that doesn't just flag a supply chain issue, but automatically communicates with suppliers, reroutes shipments, and updates inventory systems on its own. Their CEO, Bill McDermott, believes this will fundamentally change business models. What's fascinating is how they're positioning themselves as the orchestrator of this ecosystem, providing a control tower to manage all these different AI agents, their own and third-party ones, across any cloud or data source.
A control tower for AI agents. That sounds like an incredibly complex undertaking. What are the deeper implications of trying to integrate and manage all these different AI systems across a large company? It sounds like it could get chaotic fast.
It's a huge challenge, and that's precisely the problem ServiceNow is trying to solve. The risk is that every department buys its own AI solution, creating a fragmented mess where nothing talks to each other. A control tower is crucial for ensuring security, data integrity, and efficiency. It needs a robust data infrastructure, like their Raptor DB, to make sure all these agents are working from the same playbook and not stepping on each other's toes. Without that central orchestration, you don't get transformation, you just get more complicated problems.
That brings up a point of tension. ServiceNow is projecting 100 million in headcount savings by 2025 because of their internal AI, like a tool called Code Assist. While that's a clear win for productivity and shareholders, what's the other side of that coin? Does this aggressive pursuit of efficiency pose a significant challenge to the workforce?
It absolutely does, and that's the conversation every company is having right now. On one hand, tools like Code Assist can make developers dramatically more productive, freeing them from repetitive coding to focus on more creative problem solving. But on the other hand, headcount savings is a corporate euphemism for needing fewer people to do the same amount of work. It definitely poses a challenge to workforce stability and changes the skills that are in demand. The nature of many enterprise jobs will shift from doing the task to managing the AI that does the task.
So it's less about doing and more about directing. If we look beyond the financial gains, what does this focus on embedding AI agents directly into daily tools, especially in areas like customer relationship management, mean for the fundamental nature of work for employees?
I think it has the potential to remove a lot of the drudgery. Think about a sales team. Instead of spending hours manually updating records and forecasting, an AI agent can do that in the background. This could, in theory, free up the salesperson to spend more time actually building relationships with customers. The risk, of course, is that it could also dehumanize those interactions if not implemented thoughtfully. The goal should be to make humans more effective, not to replace the human element where it's most valuable.
From information to enterprise workflows, that brings us to Tesla, a company that's not just integrating AI into software, but literally embodying it in physical form. In Q2 2025, they launched their robotaxi service in Austin, offering unsupervised paid rides, and they have this audacious goal to cover half the US population by the end of the year.
And it doesn't stop with cars. Their Optimus humanoid robot is progressing rapidly. They're already on version 2.5, with a prototype for the next generation expected soon. And their production target is just mind-boggling: 1 million Optimus units a year within 5 years.
A million humanoid robots a year. It's hard to even process that number. So what's the thread connecting these two massive projects?
The thread is what Elon Musk calls real-world AI. For Tesla, AI isn't about processing data in a server farm. It's about making intelligent decisions in the chaotic, unpredictable physical world. This is why they obsess over what they call intelligence density, getting the most useful computation out of their hardware. And it's why they're investing so heavily in custom chips like the new AI5 and their Dojo supercomputer. They're building the brains and the bodies for a future where AI isn't just on our screens, but driving our cars and potentially walking alongside us.
Okay, but let's be realistic. The robotaxi service is now unsupervised and paid. What are the deeper technical and regulatory hurdles that need to be cleared for this to become a widespread reality? The unsupervised part seems like a monumental leap.
It is. Technically, the challenge is handling the infinite edge cases of the real world: a child chasing a ball into the street, a confusing construction zone, erratic human drivers. The system has to be near perfect. On the regulatory side, it's a minefield. Every city, state, and country has different rules. Gaining approval for unsupervised operation requires proving an exceptional level of safety, far beyond human drivers. Tesla claims their FSD is already 10 times safer, but convincing regulators and the public of that is a huge battle.
And then there's Optimus, a million units a year. Let's talk about the tension there. Beyond the immense technical challenge, what are the ethical considerations and potential societal disruptions of introducing humanoid robots on such a massive scale? Are we even remotely ready for that?
Not even close. We're talking about a technology that could fundamentally reshape entire industries, from manufacturing to logistics to elder care. On one hand, it could eliminate dangerous and monotonous jobs. On the other, it could cause massive job displacement on a scale we've never seen before. The ethical questions are profound. How do we ensure they're safe? Who is liable when they make a mistake? What does a society with a workforce of millions of capable AI robots even look like? It's a conversation we need to be having now, not when the first million are rolling off the assembly line.
And this all comes back to the hardware. You mentioned their new AI5 chip. The report says it might be so powerful it exceeds export restrictions. If we look at the geopolitical landscape, what are the implications of a company creating a chip like that?
It's hugely significant. Advanced AI chips are now viewed as a strategic national resource, like oil was in the 20th century. If Tesla has a chip that's so powerful it falls under national security-related export controls, it highlights the growing tension between global tech companies and national governments. It means Tesla might have to create a weakened version for international markets, creating a technological divide. This isn't just about a car company building a better computer. It's about the intersection of corporate innovation and global power politics.
So we've looked at these three giants, and it's fascinating. You have Google pouring billions into AI for information and the cloud, ServiceNow transforming the corporate world with agentic AI, and Tesla pushing embodied AI into the physical world with cars and robots. The applications are so different.
Exactly, and what's so telling is how their AI philosophies diverge, yet collectively they paint this picture of an economy being fundamentally reshaped. Google is about pervasive intelligence for a billion users. ServiceNow is about targeted, intelligent automation for business efficiency. And Tesla is all in on real-world autonomy. These aren't just different products, they're different visions for how AI will integrate into our lives. And the capital expenditure arms race behind it all is signaling an era of intense competition that will likely consolidate power among these giants.
Considering these divergent paths, what do you think this means for the future of innovation? Will these specialized AI tracks eventually merge, or are we just seeing the birth of completely separate AI ecosystems, each dominating its own domain?
I think for the foreseeable future, we'll see them run on parallel tracks, each reinforcing the company's core business. The AI needed to understand a conversational search query is very different from the AI needed to navigate a car through a busy intersection. But the underlying principles and the need for massive computational power are the same. This creates a huge barrier to entry and concentrates power, which is the potential downside of this AI gold rush.
Right, the downside, with this massive concentrated investment and Google themselves forecasting a supply-demand crunch for AI capacity until 2026, could this lead to an over-concentration of AI power? Are we creating a new breed of digital monopolies that will be almost impossible to challenge?
That is the billion-dollar question, or in Google's case, the $85 billion question. It's a very real risk. When only a handful of companies control the foundational infrastructure of the next technological era, it creates an immense power imbalance. It could stifle competition, limit consumer choice, and make it incredibly difficult for regulators to keep up.
So beyond the technology and the financials, what's the most pressing societal question we need to be asking? We're seeing potential job displacement from ServiceNow's AI and grappling with the ethics of Tesla's autonomous robots. How do we make sure this AI-driven future benefits everyone, not just a select few?
That's the ultimate challenge. We have to shift the conversation from what AI can do to what it should do. It requires proactive governance, public debate on ethical guardrails, and a serious focus on education and workforce transition. The technology is moving at a breathtaking pace, and our societal and regulatory frameworks are struggling to keep up. Ensuring this transformation is equitable is the great task of our time.
So To pull this all together, it's clear AI is no longer just a feature. It's the absolute core strategy for these tech giants reshaping their businesses and demanding these unprecedented investments.
Right, and they're all tackling it differently. From Google's focus on information to ServiceNow's on the enterprise and Tesla's on physical robots. It shows how versatile AI is, but it's also fueling this incredible investment race that's changing the structure of the market itself. This strong performance we're seeing in Q2 2025 across the board is clearly being fueled by these massive strategic bets on AI.
The rapid, diversified, and massive investment in AI by these industry leaders signals not merely an incremental technological upgrade, but a profound re-architecting of our economic and societal fabric. As AI moves from the digital realm into our physical world and automates increasingly complex tasks, the question shifts from what can AI do to what kind of world are we building with AI and for whom. This isn't just about efficiency or revenue, it's about defining the very nature of human interaction, work, and control in the coming decades, inviting us to consider not just the technological feasibility, but the deeper human implications of this unprecedented shift